It was 1966, and Disneyland was the ultimate destination for family fun and entertainment. Visitors from all over the world were gathered there to experience the magic and wonder of Walt Disney's creations. The bright sun was blazing down on that hot summer day, and the air was thick with excitement and laughter. The park was a world of wonder, full of vibrant colors, lively music, and exhilarating rides that left visitors breathless. Among them, the Submarine Voyage ride was the most popular. The ride, an underwater journey through an animatronic marine life world, was a technological marvel of the era. As the visitors got on the ride's little yellow submarines, they were excited to be taken on a voyage to the depths of the ocean. The ride's narration guided them as the submarine descended into a lagoon surrounded by an array of realistic animatronic sea creatures, including colorful fish and massive sharks. However, shortly after the ride began, something strange happened, and it came to an abrupt halt. The animatronics in the narration ceased to function, and the once lively underwater world became eerily silent. Panic set in, and the passengers struggled to stay calm as the air grew thin and the heat began to rise. Time passed, and the situation became more and more dire. As the night fell, park staff sent divers to investigate, but they found no explanation for the ride's malfunction. A full 12 hours passed, and the ride finally, inexplicably restarted. The submarines were slowly lifted to the surface, and the passengers emerged from the ride. They were met with a sea and concerned park staff. But the nightmare was far from over. To the rescuers' disbelief, half of the ride vehicle was empty, even though it had been full when they submerged. No one truly knows what happened while they were down there, but many of the passengers reported that when the ride first malfunctioned, they began to see ghostly apparitions moving through the water, their shapes distorted and blurred. Then they claimed to have heard distant whispers echoing through the water as well. That was when they began to notice passengers start to go missing, one at a time, without any possible explanation for it. They would just look away for a second, and when they turned back, a person would no longer be in the seat. They just vanished without a trace. Disney tried to explain away these stories by saying that the vehicle was only loaded with half of the normal number of passengers that day, and that everyone was just in a panicked state, claiming that there were other people there. Funny how after something like that happens at Disney, none of the witnesses ever seem to want to talk about it again either. I don't think anyone said anything after that day. Over the years though, rumors continued to spread, and Disney park officials tried to appease guests in a variety of different ways. They launched investigations, conducted thorough inspections of the ride, and even made changes to its design and features in an attempt to dispel the rumors. Yet strange experiences and eerie encounters continued to persist. In 1998, Disneyland finally closed down the original Submarine Voyage ride, which had become outdated and costly to maintain. But in 2007, the ride was reimagined and reopened as the Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. The new version of it featured updated animatronics, special effects, and a new storyline based on the popular Pixar movie, Finding Nemo. Despite the new and improved version of the ride, some visitors still claim to see ghostly figures listlessly floating through the waters around the ride, attempting to beckon them into it. Many attribute these experiences to the traumatic event at the original ride, which they believe continues to affect the new attraction. One such experience was reported by a family who visited the park in 2015. As they boarded the ride, they felt a strange, oppressive presence in the air. As soon as the ride began, its narration and animatronics seemed to start glitching. They could hear faint whispers coming from the darkness outside the submarine's windows, and even a knocking sound from the water outside them. The family was terrified and reported their experience as soon as they emerged from the attraction. nothing much came of it. Others have reported seeing a child who disappeared from the 1966 incident, hovering towards them through the water, pounding his fists as if trying to escape from something. These tales have spread to a point where eventually they caught the attention of a group of paranormal investigators who decided to conduct their own investigation of the ride. They spent hours on it, taking readings and running experiments, but they could find no evidence of any paranormal activity. They even went so far as to interview the ride's maintenance staff and inspect the animatronics. But everything appeared to be totally normal. As they were about to close the case and leave, one of the inspectors checked a recording he had made of the lagoon. In one of the clips, there was a faint shadowy figure which could be seen hovering across the water. They reviewed the footage again and again, trying to understand the anomaly, but they could find no rational explanation for it. Excited by their discovery, they decided to continue with the investigation, spending several nights inside the park, analyzing the ride, and taking measurements of the surrounding area. To their amazement, they discovered that the ride contained various unexplained symbols, carved and built into the rock formations of the queue, and also at the bottom of the lagoon. They most likely represented a series of numbers, and when put together, seemed to create a set of coordinates, possibly indicating where the ride's missing people may have gone to. Only no one was ever able to fully investigate any further. When they presented their findings to Disney officials, they immediately put an end to the investigation, not giving any reason as to why. This was maddening for the team, but it did not leave them many options as far as what else to do. However, rumors of this ride's curse and the mysterious coordinates written in the stones have continued to spread, and to this day, visitors to the park still report strange occurrences on it very regularly. So if you're planning to go on that ride on your next vacation there, I would maybe think again. It seems there's much more in the ride's cold, dark depths than you would ever expect.